because we have a quorum here. So, Madam Clerk, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll call it to order here. Roll call, please.
And as a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Conwell. Present. Ms. Baker. Here. Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
There is a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and for anybody who's not aware, this is the Cuyahoga County Public Works Procurement and Contracting Committee meeting for Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. And we did call the roll call there. Is there any public comment this morning, Madam Clerk?
No, Mr. Chair, no one has signed
Okay,
in.
seeing none, could I have approval of minutes from the October 20th meeting?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval from the October 20th, 2021 meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. And Madam Clerk, if we could have the first matter referred to committee.
Resolution number 2021-0243, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the replacement of West 130th Street Bridge number 02.26 over the east branch of the Rocky River in the cities of North Royalton and Strongsville.
Okay, and if we could, just have your name for the record.
Nicole English with Public Works. So this is the welfare and convenience, which starts off our project for the West 130th Street Bridge. The bridge was built in 1952. It is a general appraisal rating of 4. So again, from 0 to 9, 9 being the best, 0 being falling apart. So it is on the worst scale. This is a $3.75 million project. We have applied for 40% issue 1, which we should find out about later this year, early next year, on confirmation on that. It is a bridge that is the county's responsibility. That's why the cities do not have a share in the project. We're looking for construction in 2023 of the project. So this is just starting us off. You'll, again, see more legislation when we actually award construction.
Okay. You said it's 40% issue 1. Is that, where are the other funds coming from?
County, 60% county.
60% county. Okay. And then what you said 2023 is the start date. What do you anticipate for the completion date?
This is probably a year project, depending. They're still, you know, when they go through the design, as far as the maintenance of traffic goes, depending on if they can shut half the bridge down would depend on whether they can get this done in a year or two. It does have 11,000 cars on it a day, which is kind of a lot. So they would try to expedite the construction as much as possible.
Okay. And then are there any, do you see any issues with infrastructure or other unique to this particular bridge?
No, this should be pretty straightforward. The picture, it's, you know, it's over a branch of the Rocky River. There's not a lot of residents around. You know, it's not like we're going to affect a lot of property.
I'll open it up to questions for my colleagues. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay, I heard Ms. Conwell, and then I see Ms. Baker.
Through the chair to Nicole, what is the rating?
4A. So it's, again, 0 to 9, 9 being the best. 4 is the 4 is where the federal funds will start kicking in, so it is in fairly bad shape. And then A says that there is some restrictions on it related to load. So it's in need of repair for sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ms. Baker.
That was one of my questions. And the second was, with 11,000 cars a day and knowing this is heavily traveled, is this going to be a huge inconvenience? Do you have a detour?
So that's what they'll work through on the design. With 11,000 cars, my guess is they're not shutting it down completely. They'll try to work on a half-width construction, depending what they can do. If they had to go, the worst case probably would be a one-way in each direction. But that's something they'll work through with the cities as they go through the design.
Is there any way around this bridge, or is it?
Yeah, you know, there is some detour routes. You have the valley that's fairly close, though, so it takes a minute to get around. So that would be part of the consideration that they'll look at.
And you said 2 years on this?
Probably 1 to 2 years on construction, depending on the phased construction.
Right.
So a lot of that will get worked out. When we present the construction to you, you know, we'll have all the details figured out at that point when we award the construction.
Good. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Mr. Miller? No? Okay. Any further questions? And so as far as time, this could do 3 readings,
Yes,
it looks like?
no problem.
Okay. With that, I'll make a motion to move this on to second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for second reading for R2021-0243. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Madam Clerk, the second piece of legislation here.
And also like the record to reflect that Ms. Turner is in attendance.
Okay, welcome, Ms. Turner.
Resolution number 2021-0244, authorizing an amendment to contract number 610 with CNS Engineers for general engineering services for the Cuyahoga County Airport.
Okay, and if you could just please state your name for the record.
So Nicole English again, and then I'll let John step in. Just a quick on CNS, they were selected as our airport general services contractor back in late 2019. The contract started in February of 2020. The way these contracts work through the FAA is you select them for 5 years, and then you can increment money as you go. So we don't put in the dollars for the full 5 years up front. We do it in stages based on the projects that we know that are coming up. So when you see amendments to this contract, they were always intended amendments. I think that's just to be clear. They were selected by an RFQ, a competitive process. This is just how the FAA prefers that we contract with the consultant. So the money that we're putting in is sort of for the next round of projects, which I'll let John explain kind of what's coming up and what we use this consultant for at the airport.
Appreciate that. Mr. Myers?
Good morning, Chairman and members of the committee. Just to briefly, this particular amount is accelerating a little faster because of COVID. We were the beneficiaries of CARES Act dollars and more dollars that came more quickly to us, which is a positive thing for the airport and the county, particularly to the county too, since instead of a matching formula, this was 100% FAA funding. For instance, this week we're just completing a approximately $5 million apron replacement project that was used for this, and we have some other realignment that FAA is requiring of Taxiway A that will be using this amendment dollars to do design services and construction services in addition to our general FAA consulting backup.
Okay. I see the time frame on the contract. So why is that backdated so far?
Because this is an existing contract,
okay,
so that's
so
the
this is
beginning
part
of
of
the beginning of the date. So we're really just adding dollars. We're
Adding
not changing
dollars, correct. Okay, it's okay. I apologize. You explained that.
Nope.
Any questions from my colleagues? No. Okay. Seeing none. What is the time frame as far as moving this portion of the contract?
Regular order would
Okay.
suffice.
Okay.
Mr.
So
Chairman.
with that, then I'll make a motion for second reading.
Second.
And we have a second for second reading, a second for second reading on R2021, I'm sorry, R2021-0244. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay, and the ayes have it. Thank you. And Madam Clerk, if we could move on to the next piece of legislation?
Resolution number 2021-0245, authorizing an award on requisition number 6464 to MB Companies in the amount not to exceed $545,550 for the purchase of snow removal equipment for the county airport.
Okay, and if you just could state your name for the record.
Yes, again, John Myers on behalf of Department of Public Works. We're seeking approval. There's been a slight amendment submitted yesterday. The number 545,550 has now been, we requested a change to 549,637, a very slight increase that related
Okay.
to some extras. This is for a snow broom equipment, which is our main way of keeping the runway clear of ice and snow during the winter. It's approximately a 20-foot wide broom. It's our current broom is 15 years old and aging out, so we have sought an FAA grant to replace that broom, which we'd like to seek your approval to accept this grant. We will be purchasing it and be reimbursed by the FAA for this in the amount stated.
Okay. Any questions on this? Mr. Sweeney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hello, Mr. Myers.
Good morning, sir.
The broom we have is working now,
Yes.
and just supply chain stuff. Sometimes these are hard to get up and going at this current
They are.
time.
We've been working on it as we get ready for this current snow season to start.
Do you think you'll have it before the snow
Not this broom, not the new broom. This will be,
for next
it
winter?
will actually be not for this winter at all. It takes a whole year to manufacture it, so we won't be seeing this till the next winter.
So you're good with because we don't know.
Our current equipment we're prepared to do. It's just that the current main broom that we rely on is aging out, and
I'm just very thankful through my chairman that you are forecasting for this and not coming in emergency mode. So congratulations and keep up the great work.
Thank you, and it's particularly nice since all but that last $4,000 is going to be reimbursed by the feds, so we're in good shape.
All right, thank you. Mr. Miller, and then Ms. Conwell.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept the proposed substitute and make a diversion in front of the committee.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the proposed substitute R2021-0245. Do I have a second?
Second, Sweeney?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the proposed substitute on this legislation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Miller, our parliamentarian.
Can I ask my question?
Yes, absolutely.
Through
We
the
just
chair
accepted the proposed, so we didn't
Okay.
pass it to, yeah.
Mr. Chair, through the, to Myers.
Yes.
How long does these brooms usually last? The first time that I've heard of it.
Well, the current one that we have is still running, and it's about 15 years old. When we have two brooms, there's a backup one that's even over 20 years old that is there to assist, but normal life would be approximately 15 years, but as long as they're serviced correctly, they can continue to run, but this is just a much more efficient and bigger than our current backup broom, so we'll be in a much better position to have a redundant ability to respond to the county airport, which is out in the snow belt, as you know.
And through the chair, how old is our backup broom?
It's there to assist, but it's not, it's weak, so we'll be getting rid of that broom, the backup broom, and once this new one comes, so that our current broom will then become the backup broom.
So in order to go, since you're going for a grant, couldn't you have just expanded the grant proposal to try to get both at the same time?
Well, no, I mean, it should be sufficient. We felt it was sufficient, and this is, as you can see, over a $500,000 grant from the Fed, so we're very happy with that. That's a significant amount of money for equipment. Usually their focus is on capital improvements, so this is, we're a very welcome addition, and we'll be in a great spot if we can get this with your approval in place.
So we won't have to worry about, we'll be able, with the FA grant, to go for it again for a backup.
Of course, if the backup is weakened, we'll be able to revisit that, but at the moment, every indication with our staff and outside experts suggests that the current proposal will be more than sufficient to meet the needs.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Conwell. Any other questions? Seeing none, then I will, did you say the time frame on this particular?
Regular order is acceptable, Mr. Chairman.
Regular order, okay. So on that, then I'll make a motion to accept proposed substitute resolution R2021-0245 to move it along on second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept resolution R2021-0245. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Myers.
Thank you all.
Madam Clerk, if we could, the final piece of legislation here.
Resolution number 2021-0254, approving right-of-way exhibits as set forth in plat number M-5051 for reconstruction of Stearns Road from Shady Road to Bagley Road in Olmsted Township.
Okay, and if you just could state your name for the record.
Nicole English with Public Works.
And Ms. English, and what's this regarding?
So this is seeking authority to acquire right-of-way, so this is to begin the process of purchasing right-of-way for our project. So Stearns Road, we're reconstructing from Bagley South to Shady. It includes a portion of the Turnpike Bridge, which we are actually partnering with the Turnpike to do this project as one. They're designing their bridge, we're designing the road, and then we'll construct the whole project as one piece so that we lessen kind of the burden on the residents. There is 41 parcels that we need, and 35 owners of those parcels. Most of them are temporary. There's only 7 permanent takes that are pieces along the roadway. Most of the work is because we are putting in a more modern roadway section, so we're putting sidewalks that don't exist today. We're enclosing the drainage opposed to ditch drainage, and this is really at the request of Olmsted Township and the trustees because they're seeking the Stearns and Bagley intersection is kind of seen as their township center now, and so they want the accessibility. There's a pretty large neighborhood of Woodgate Farms to the south, those people being able to walk and bike. The schools are located on Bagley, so this whole project is really going to enhance the whole neighborhood around that area. So the estimate for the right-of-way cost is $172,000 total. We have applied for issue 1 for approximately 50% of the funds of the whole project. So there could be an option for some reimbursement as long as we get awarded the issue $1 this fall.
Okay. And when is the anticipated start date?
So we'd like to start the right-of-way acquisition as soon as possible. So we would ask for second reading suspension. As far as the project goes, the project wouldn't start until next year, the construction.
Right, construction next year. Okay. Any questions from my colleagues? Okay, we'll see Ms. Baker and then Mr. Miller.
Yes, thanks. Are there sewers in the section of,
We are adding sewers,
so is sewers part of this project?
correct.
Wow, okay, that's good. They've been waiting a long time for those
Yes,
sewers in there.
Exactly.
And how long do you think this will be under construction? Sounds like a big job.
Yeah, it's at least a 2-year project. So there'll be a short stint that we're going to close down because of the bridge needs to be closed down. So there will be a full closure for a summer. That's what typically Olmsted Township asks for, so that, you know, it's not during school. And then the rest of it will likely have some one-way traffic going on as we construct.
If I may, how heavily traveled is this that you would be?
I don't have a number on the traffic, but it's definitely less than the 11,000. I think it's probably closer to 8 or so. I mean, there is a big neighborhood to the south, but that's essentially what Stearns runs into, is that Woodgate Farms neighborhood. So it's not really a thoroughfare, you know, once you get past that.
And the total project, I know this is 172 for the right-of-ways, but what is the total project for this?
4.5 million, which includes part our road and bridge money, part of the sanitary fund out of the township, and then part issue 1 that we've applied for.
How much is the township? I know you said issue 1 was going to be 50%.
Yeah, I think the sewer, I'd have to get the breakdown of road and bridge and sanitary, but I feel like the sanitary was just under $1 million total, but I'll double check that number for you.
And did I, let's see, 2-year project, when would you be starting this project where people would be impacted?
So the idea is to start next year, and then I believe it's the summer of '23 is the shutdown.
All right, I appreciate it. I know this area, so it's good to know.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Baker. Mr. Miller?
So, have we approached any property owners yet, or does this resolution have to be passed before that can start?
That's what we wait for. So we wait until this happens because this is given everybody notice that it's coming. And then once we get the approval, we will release, our consultants are who starts making the first initial contact with the residents. So we have not talked to them. Now, they have gotten letters when we did survey work out there. They've gotten letters notifying them of the project coming, but not necessarily a discussion about the right-of-way take.
And, Mr. Chairman, Ms. English, how long do you think the shutdown is going to have to be for?
So the full shutdown is only the summer, scheduled for the summer months so that it doesn't impact the school buses. But there would likely be some one-way detours that happen throughout the project based on, you know, the type of work they're doing. So there'll be some additional inconvenience, but the full shutdown is scheduled for just a summer.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Any further questions?
I can ask just,
Ms. Baker, sure.
is there much left of sewer work out there in Olmsted Township? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there still is a good amount. So we have several projects that we're still working on. We have applied through, the state development had the water and wastewater grants that they have awarded half of. We haven't gotten awarded yet, but we're still looking. I think there's another 100 million out there. We've requested for some work in the township. There is still a good amount of sections
Right,
that
a lot
need
of well
sewer.
water, a lot of wells out there. Mm-hmm. And the sidewalk that you're putting in, and even the covered drainage, does that lead to more sidewalks, or does it kind of?
Yes, so we did put Bagley Road sidewalks in when we did that project, probably, 6 years ago maybe now. So it is connecting to that and connecting into the neighborhood. So this will be a nice connection, because right now, if you go out there, if someone wanted to walk to school from Woodgate Farms, they're walking on the grass or in the street.
Thank you, good to know.
Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Baker. Any further questions? Seeing none, I'll make a motion for moving R2021-0254 along for second reading suspension. Do I have a second? We have a second from Ms. Baker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And the ayes have it. Thank you, Ms. English. Is there any other miscellaneous business before the committee this morning? Okay, seeing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay, and the ayes have it, and we will adjourn at 10:27 a.m.